Hey everybody, how you doing? I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from the Black Business School. I was watching this interesting documentary on Brave New Films, or it's a Brave New Films documentary about professors in poverty. And what it was talking about is the unfortunate reality in America that there are a lot of professors, a lot of people that have a lot of education, that have PhDs and all kinds of credentials, and they are living on food stamps. They're below the poverty line. And what this film kind of does, which is really interesting, is it does challenge the corporate model in academia, which I think it should be challenged. I think that's a very good move. I think it's very smart of them to do that. But it also kind of exposes something that people don't think. It kind of demystifies or kind of gets rid of that myth that getting a lot of education is a guarantee for financial security. And the thing is, the truth is that when you get older and you see how these outcomes vary, you know that education is not a guarantee of anything. Education can help you get certain things, but just shoving information in your brain is not a guarantee that you're going to ever be paid for that information. Here's the thing about America. Here's a reality, and this is not me talking. I'm really talking about this from a politically agnostic standpoint, meaning that, you know, this is not me sounding like a liberal, sounding like a conservative. It's me just pointing pragmatically and practically at, you know, the way the world works in this country. America's a capitalist society. Now, the way capitalism works is that you get paid based on value, not on how many certificates you got on your wall and stuff like that. The certificates are only add to your economic situation if they indicate that you add value. You know, so for example, if I'm an MD or a surgeon, then my certificate means something. It means something a little bit different than if I have a doctorate in philosophy. A doctorate in philosophy is really cool, but it may not, add up to a whole lot when it comes to, what value I actually bring to the table, and what kind of labor market I'm dealing with. And so, my thought on all of this is that, I was fortunate. I was in the field of finance. I picked finance specifically because I knew I could get a salary that I'd be happy with. I knew there were plenty of jobs. So most of the people that have my PhD, most of them are white. Very few black people who get this PhD, but most of us make, starting off, you're making six figures, at least 150, 200,000, maybe 250,000. Some of them, I bet the highest salaries are probably approaching 300,000 for even rookies that are just getting out of school. And so, and the thing is, a lot of the work that I did was very similar to what students were doing over in the economics department. It's similar to the work they were doing in statistics and mathematics, etc. But I looked over at economics. I said, wait a minute, there's too many of y'all, and there aren't enough jobs for all of y'all, and your salaries are garbage. I looked at mathematics, saw the same thing. I went and looked at statistics, saw the same thing. I said, well, I'm doing the same work over here in finance. The difference is that there's more opportunity here. So that's how you kind of have to think about education. You got to strategically position yourself, because here's the thing with these universities. Universities are robbing America. They are robbing this country. When I was at USC this week, one of the students told me, and I hope that I hope she was wrong about this, but she said that next year the tuition at USC is expected to go up to $70,000. $70,000. That's crazy. And when I was there, I saw all kinds of construction. Every campus I go to, there's construction because universities have too much money. They're getting so much money between all, the massive tuition increases and all the student loan money that's coming in to cover that, and that they're able to pay crazy salaries to the people at the top of the chain. And also they're just buying stuff. They're buying buildings. They're paying football coaches $6-7 million a year. They're doing all kinds of things that show that they have money. So if they wanted to take care of the adjunct professors, they could. They just, adjuncts will probably have to get together and strike or really, become disruptive. In terms of messing up that system. But at the end of the day, one of the things that I think is important to understand is that if you're a person seeking to get higher education, the best thing you can do as a black person in this country is learn how to have your own business. It takes less effort to learn how to run a business than it does to get a PhD, MD, JD, BA, BS, and all these other degrees. A person can learn to be an entrepreneur in 2 or 3 months, maybe even in a few weeks if you do an intense course. So what I suggest is that if you are black, especially, because remember, whatever happens to white people is happening 10 times more to black people. Whatever white people complain about, we've been living. They complain about having to go down to level 9. We've been living at level 4. Black people always suffer a lot more than everybody else. So as a black person, you can't just think that the white man's going to just reward you in his economic system just because you got a piece of paper from some university. It just doesn't happen. There's a lot of educated black people I know who are jobless, who are broke, who are borderline homeless. So don't put yourself in this situation. Learn how to run your own business or learn how to invest in somebody else's business so that even if you're getting a little Uber paycheck or a little McDonald's paycheck or whatever, Uber paychecks actually ain't that bad. Uber's actually becoming a really great place for people to work. You get that little paycheck, you know what to do with that money. You don't just give your money away to these corporations. You put that money into a business so that you can flip that money. You know, Damon Dash and I in the class we teach at intelligentbossmoves.com, that's what we talk about. We talk about flipping. When Damon and I talk about getting money, as soon as we get money in our hands, most of the time, it's reinvested. You know, and people will say, oh, well, Damon Dash, he just spends all his money. This isn't. No, he's investing that money. That's not the same as spending. Investing is not the same as spending. Going broke from investing is not the same as going broke because you bought, you know, Jordans and Nikes and or whatever else and nice clothes. Those are two very different things. Now, again, I'm not vouching for anybody's business strategy or counting anybody else's money, but I'm going to tell you the best way to get ahead in this country is you got to think like an investor. You want to put your money to work, even if it's a little bit of money. Also, you want to learn how to run a business. Teach your children to run a business. Every black child in America should learn to run a business. That needs to be our mantra for the 21st century because this capitalist system, I'm going to tell you something special about capitalism. You need to understand this. Capitalism, when it's unregulated, which is what's happening in America. America is crumbling. America's legislative process is falling apart. They are not regulating capitalism. Unregulated capitalism leads to corporate slavery. Extreme corporate slavery. That's how you get adjuncts making $13,000 a year because it's unregulated capitalism. If they properly regulated those environments, you wouldn't have a football coach making $7 million and a professor with 2 PhDs making $13,000. You wouldn't have that. It's not being regulated. It's not being regulated. So understand that the ship is sinking. You need to build a lifeboat. Smart people will build a lifeboat. Everybody else is going to just follow along, you know, and do what everybody else is doing. And unfortunately, a lot of people are going to drown. So don't let that happen to your kids. Be ready. Be ready for the future. All right, guys, I'm about to get out of here. In case you want your children to learn about wealth building, we do have a program at blackmillionairesoftomorrow.com that you can check out. That's blackmillionairesoftomorrow.com. Also, don't forget, we're on the Black Economic Empowerment Tour. We're going around the world, not just around the country, around the world, talking to people of color about wealth building, black cooperative economics, the development of black business, and all these things that are going to make us strong and powerful in the 21st century. We are not victims. We are not charity cases. We are not meant to fall in second place. We are meant to win. So make sure you're always winning. All right, everybody. Well, take care. I'll talk to you guys soon. Oh, by the way, if you want to know about the tour and the cities we're going to, go to thedrboycewatkinstour.com. That's thedrboycewatkinstour.com. You can buy tickets right there and stuff like that. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later. I'm going to get back to work. Peace.